What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another live stream. That was an echo. Whoops. I thought I muted that, but we're good now. Welcome back to another live stream, working in Unreal Engine 4, C++, blueprints, etc. Working on Project Hero from scratch. So the last time we were streaming, we were running into a crash for some reason. Our level just was causing some weird crash. I can't remember the exact name, not that name, but the exact crash meaning or reason. But I had to create a brand new level. So I created a new level, and we have some trees scattered around. You know, it's not the prettiest level. You know, we might need to expand the level later on once we actually get some more stuff into our world. But, you know, right now we can chop our trees, and, you know, resources come in from the tree. So what we might want to do later at some point is, you know, add impact sounds and impact effects and stuff like that. But for now, everything is okay. Like, we're able to just spawn things. So we were in the middle of moving our prototype from Blueprint to C++. So we at least got some of it going. So what I want to try to accomplish is I want to push the rest into C++. See how far that and how long that takes us to do. And then I want to try to, you know, I want to be able to have, like, when you're close enough to an item, I want it to kind of like gravitate towards you so you can pick it up. So we're gonna have to work on that. That'll probably be a prototype as well. I'm not sure what the best way to do that will be. Like, obviously we can use timelines, but if we want to do it in C++, you don't have access to timelines, so we might need to use some sort of curve. So we'll have to research that. But at least we got things going. And once we have that going, we might need to add a feature to just, you know, maybe we have to give these trees some health, and then destroy the tree after a while, just so you can't spam it like I am, getting all these resources and stuff like that. So let's kind of just catch up to where we were. Okay, so I believe you could handle that. Possibly do like some sort of callback with a physical material. So you can kind of just see the physical material that you're on and then play a certain sound based off that physical material, just for my own kind of curiosity. Let's look it up real quick. Why not? So footstep sounds on different materials. So it looks like my thinking was sort of correct. Yeah, there's physical materials. You have your different surface types. So basically, what's the callback here? Okay, so you add it in the animation. So a physical material is your way of creating. I don't know how to exactly explain it. It's kind of like labeling your surfaces, like a physical material. Let's look at it into the engine as well. Let's create a quick one. I think it's under materials, texture. No. Is it under physics? Yeah. So yeah, let's make a physical material. Wow, why did this open up all the way on this side? Unreal Engine, you're drunk. So you have things that you can handle with the physics and everything. You can control friction, like how physics objects can update it. So if you want ice, you would have less friction, and you can have sliding. So you can label surface types. You'll have to create a bunch of surface types. I guess that's in the project settings, most likely, and we can just maybe type physical material. Yeah, and you have all these surface types. So, you know, we can have grass, for example. And now it's updated. So yeah, it's for one thing, it's used, like, from how I understand it and how I would work with it, it's just a way of labeling your surface. You're like, okay, I'm walking on grass, I'm walking on this, I'm walking on that. And in code or in Blueprint, you can get that information, or even in the animation when you're running, you can get that information and then do whatever you want. So that's how sometimes people you know, that's how you obviously do different sound and visual effects depending on your surfaces. So that's how it's done. And we'll definitely do that later on. So I want to have different biomes. So we would have sand, we would have snow, ice, etc. But first things first, let's just kind of go into this. Let's click on our blueprint. What do we need to move? So everything works up until the hit, and you know we can call the parent hit, and that way we can have a blueprint part of it. So I'm gonna disconnect that. We're gonna leave this as it is. We'll comment saying, hey, you know, if you want to do something in blueprint, here's where you do it. Blueprint callback for event on hit. Do BP stuff here. There you go. So I don't know. This level takes forever to save and load. I don't know if I like that. I don't know if I should bother. Yeah, let's not bother doing anything with this right now because it's using a landscape. I don't care about landscapes at the moment. So let's make a new level. We'll do time of day. Just so we can, you know, play as quickly as possible. And let's just make this a little bigger. By a little bigger, I mean a lot bigger. Maybe like 100. That kind of looks gross. Do we really want to take the time to do a quick level? Alright, we'll do... in theory, you could bind damage to physical material instead of using pain causing volume. Yeah, in theory. But, you know, you would still have to worry about, like, you know, your personal, like, tick, you know, where it's like, okay, every X seconds do it. But, yeah, I think you could. Okay, so we have our new world. Hero maps. We'll just do this as hero test map. And then we can throw a tree on here. And there we go. So now we should be okay. Okay, so the thing doesn't have... What kind of collision is this? So it's block all dynamic. And it's world dynamic. Okay. So let's change that to static. Let's also group these. And then let's also put them in a folder. Brown. And then we can do what? Block all. Yeah, world static. So that should be kosher. Also, guess we got an interview a month after saying. Oh, did you get an interview? Where at? That's awesome. Congratulations. Making plays, baby. So now that should hit. Still not hitting. Interesting. What's our test item? Mesh. So it's blocking everything. Okay, so it's static, not do anything with item. It overlaps item. Now that we should be okay. There we go. And I guess we can just move this tree a little closer to us. We can move this thing over here. We don't give a shit right now. Tomorrow, level design at Madhead. Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't know if he's there either. I thought he maybe moved to Ubisoft in Belgrade. But I could be wrong. But yeah, Madhead, awesome. Let me know how it goes. Just message me on Instagram after the interview. I'm sure you'll be fine. Don't panic. Keep it cool. Okay. And there has to be a post process in here, right? Or is it? Because there's something in the, I guess is it the project settings? You know, like when you first jump into this level, it's dark and then your eyes kind of open to like the actual brightness. I forget what that's called and where that's controlled. I know it's in post process, but we don't have one, so I guess it has to be in world settings. No? Settings and brightness. Are you sure it's called brightness? I thought it was called something else. Thank you. Okay, exposure. Okay, UE4 exposure in world settings. So is it in project settings or is it in world settings? So I feel like it would have been in... Okay, auto exposure. We can turn that off, okay. Now it's too dark. That doesn't do anything. So is there a way to make it bright? Like, I would like it to be like halfway bright to where it was. I suck at this, like these level tools and lighting tools. It's not my strong suit. Or can I just do project settings, exposure, enable it, but make the bias 0? No. What about like -1? Does that turn it? I'm just looking to turn off. No. Maybe manual. No. Oh, 10's not the answer. Okay. 3 is fine, I think. That looks okay. Maybe... Alright, I fucking hate now because I'm gonna... Alright, that looks fine to me. I'm not gonna be picky right now. So, we have our tree, right? So what do we want to move? That sounds so funny when that happens in my ear. Okay. So we don't have to worry about collision. What we want to worry about with our BP test item is constructing this random velocity, right? I guess we can do that on begin play. Let's take a snippet of this. Put that in our back pocket. And let's disable it. So now what should happen now is it will spawn, but it'll always just like kind of spawn upwards, right? Like it won't actually go in a direction. So that's fine for now. what we'll want to do, I believe, is... so we don't need to do anything with that. We need to go into our hero item. Is it base actor? I actually don't... Hold on. Forgot the class. I think my class hierarchy is garbage. Well, let's see. I should really drop a fucking hierarchy so I can remember it. I am. Let's also change our default map. Okay. So here's our test item, and it's hero item base. So, item. Hero item base, right? So what do we need to do? We also need our notify. So here's our notify. The reason why we need our notify is because it's in here that we're spawning it. Is that a good idea? I don't know. Like, should we handle spawning somewhere else? That I don't know. But let's leave it alone. Actually, no, we're not spawning it. We're spawning it. This is how much I haven't coded in this fucking project. It's happening in base actor, no? Or it's happening in our foliage. Yeah, it's happening in our foliage. The foliage comes from base actor, so I'm not going that crazy, right? Okay, so these are the two classes that we need. That we know. So we basically want to say, you know, set up our velocity of the spawned item here. So, because like basically we're telling it to spawn, but we're spawning it deferred, so we can do stuff in here before we actually spawn the item. Finish spawning is what then spawns it. So we should be able to get away with saying, you know, velocity is this. So we should make a new function. Or do we get away with maybe we have, let's see if we can get away with doing the math here. So can we do f vector? Actually, no. You know, we know that, we gotta get the actor forward vector. So it can be f vector item forward vector equals. And this is where I fucking shit the bed. I hate, is it like f math and then actor forward vector, or can I just do spawned item get forward? Yeah, guess I can get away with that. Now do I have to do f math random? All right, I need to figure out where this function is. Random unit vector in cone degrees. So UE4 C++ random unit vector in cone degrees. Let's see. So that's blueprint. So that's useless. That's Blueprint API. Does it give me any fucking code API? No. Dope shit. So there has to be something. Does this exist anywhere? Okay. So it takes us somewhere. So random unit vector in cone in degrees. Let's see. Do they have anything in degrees? Hey, how's it going, Quasimodo? Thanks for stopping by. How you doing? We're continuing to move our prototype of hitting a tree with our axe and generating items to C++. And then we're just going to kind of take baby steps from there, what we want to move forward with. So right now I'm trying to figure out how to do this math in C++. You know, I know how to get a forward vector and everything. I'm trying to find what this random cone degrees thing is in C++. I thought it might be in the ukismet library, but I can't seem to find it. It's like random unit vector in cone. Like, that's the only random unit vector in cone that exists in this class. But there is a blueprint equivalent, and I don't know. Search the entire fucking solution. Let's see if we can find it, because I don't know where it is. So we'll let Visual Studio shit itself, and we'll go from there. So we already know that. So we have get active forward vector. We know that much. We're trying to, I know at this point I scribbled so much into this, I don't know if you can see it anymore. We're looking for a random unit vector in cone and degrees, this thing. So I don't know where that is. And Visual Studio is like dead. And I can't seem to find anything off of Google. And now Visual Studio is gonna die a little bit, but that's fine. Let's not let the little things bother us, am I right? Brush it off your shoulders. And I can't seem to find anything. So here's hoping the Visual Studio gets us somewhere. I know it's kind of dumb looking through the entire solution, but I really don't know where to look. I have to just look everywhere. No, I thought it did something. UE4, ukismet math library. I spelled library wrong. Okay, so this is a huge library. So random vector, is that what it's called? Random unit vector, yeah, in cone degrees. So maybe I just have to do it that way. All right, so we need to include this library, obviously. Let's do that. Yeah, which one is this? No, we don't need that one. I think I know where we can go. So we can do what? Ukismet math library and random unit. Whoops, random. Oh my god. Random unit in cone degrees. There we go. So we need to give it a forward vector, and then based on our logic, we give it a random float in range between 90 and 180. Okay, so can we do like F math? Random. Where did all those options go? Rand. I guess we could just do this for safety. And what do we do? I gotta zoom out just a little bit. Okay. So we're basically making random angles for the X and Y. I wonder if we can get away with, okay, so we need that. That. Oh my god. Give me. Yeah, you know what really sucks? I had a party last weekend and someone spilled strawberry margarita on my desk right on my keyboard. Now everything's fucking sticky and I was too hungover, dumb not to clean it up. So now everything's fucking gross. I think I'll need to do some deep cleaning. So this function returns an F vector. So we could say F vector item spawn angle is that. And then we need to do what? F vector item spawn velocity. And then, can I say, I don't know what the easiest way to say, but can I say item spawn, item spawn velocity. I say dot x equals item spawn angle dot x, and then or is there, well, I guess I could do this. I wonder if we can use our knowledge, like do something like item spawn angle dot x, item spawn angle dot y, and then 1. I hope that's valid. That looks valid. It's not bitching, so we'll see if that's valid. I'm gonna get some water real quick. I'll be right back. Alright. Daddy's back. So now we have the spawn velocity. Can I just say item to spawn can I set velocity? Let's see how we did it here. Okay, so it's in the projectile movement. Okay. Okay, so we can do item spawn and then projectile. Or is it like get projectile? Let me just see how that blueprint's set up again. Let's see if this compiles. Okay. I just need to know. So here's our test item. Okay, so the projectile movement and rotating movement components are not in the base class, so we need to add those. So that makes sense why we couldn't see it. What do we want to do? I think it has to be, maybe it's under protected. Now we'll say public. So it's gonna be a U property for sure. Let me let's look at our character. Yeah, so it's like this. I will call under movement. And then we say what? Class U projectile movement component. Projectile movement. And then we can copy pasta that. And then do what? U rotating movement component. Rotating movement. And then we got to add them here. So those are our first set of items. Now we can do what? Projectile movement. We'll create default sub-object. View projectile movement component. I don't know if we'll need to include these classes. We might. Projectile movement. We'll see. We'll try to compile and then we'll see what happens. Fuck around and find out. And then this is what, rotating? Let's see if that compiles. Again, I'm not sure if I need to include them. I'm not really necessarily doing anything with those classes yet. But we shall see. How's everybody doing in the chat? Y'all learning something? Because I'm kind of. Well, we learned that it failed. So that's our error list. Plus 69. Hell yeah. So something's... Oh. Wow. Can't believe I missed that. So that's a hashtag. Whoops. Let's try that again. Yeah, I finally started. I've been waking up usually around 8 a.m., but now starting on yesterday, I've been waking up at 7 a.m. I don't know if it's a mistake or not, but... Alright, so we still got an error. Okay, so we do gotta include them. I'm trying to get my body ready for when the gyms eventually open up, and I gotta wake up at like 5 in the morning. So I'm slowly getting there. So 7 a.m. is the new normal. What do I want to say? Before projectile movement. Yes. Then we want the same thing for you, rotating movement. Okay. I forgot what I even said. What did I say? What was a mistake? Like waking up too early? I don't know. Sometimes you gotta pass the fuck out. Maybe it's under that same framework. Game, framework. Rotating. Yes, okay. Okay, so we're in business. Yeah, waking up early is good. It's just a pain in the ass to make it a habit, you know? Okay. So we're back to where we were. So now we should have access in our foliage. I think, yeah, we should definitely move this logic into the actual item. But first, let's just get it working, right? So can I say... projectile movement. Item times I think actually now would be a good time to move this into the actual base class. Thanks for the follow. Hit loss. Much appreciated. Welcome. Thanks for hanging out. Okay, so we're in our .h. We'll do a... I guess it'll have to be a public function. And we'll say what? We'll do another public just to separate it out. It's going to be a void set spawn velocity. I think it's good. And I don't think it needs anything. think that's all we need. And it's gonna do a bunch of this shit. So it's gonna be what? So I don't think the foliage now needs this math library. That can handle it. Now we can say what? Let's comment that out. Can we say projectile movement velocity equals item spawn velocity times projectile movement initial speed? I think that's all we need to say. I guess all we'll have to do is say spawned item set velocity, or is it set up velocity? What did I name it? Set spawn velocity. And we're already included the item base, so we're good there. So that looks promising. And it's probably better that we're doing it in here anyway. So let's see if it compiles. That's the first thing we gotta be worried about. And so in theory, it should work how it was working before. Like it should spawn now in random directions. Okay, I think I know why. Hold on. Since we made a new projectile movement, its initial speed is all wonky. So what we can do, because oh yeah, we didn't commit to source control, so we can't really do a diff of what we were working with. I think it was like 500. Let's see what happens. Yeah, there we go. So we're all good. So now it's doing the same thing as it was doing before, but now all through the sexy power of C++, right? So we're good there. And from what I was told from one of the programmers at work, I think I read this somewhere too, but pretty much like Blueprint is 8 times slower than C++. So there's definitely, like honestly doing these minuscule things doesn't really matter. I doubt it does, but you know, your heavy duty operations, it's definitely a good idea to move to C++. If you're trying to iterate over a bunch of items, like you know, for each loop or for loop, probably best for you to make it a C++ function, if anything. So now let's prototype what we wanted to do, where the item kind of moves towards the player, like when you kind of overlap a certain segment of it. So, like in my head, it makes sense for the specific actor to have that. So we can make another sphere collision. We'll just say item detection sphere. And we'll do overlap all. We don't want to generate hit offense or anything like that. Should be simple enough. Let's say like on begin overlap, and we could just print what we want. So it's gonna be the other actor. And give us some more room. So, and yeah, by default, let's make it no. hidden in game. Let's make it false so we can see it. Yeah. Oh yeah, it's really small, so that's a problem. Radius, I suppose. Yeah. Let's make it 500. So you can, I don't know, you can kind of see that circle. I don't like that it's rotating. Can I make it so it doesn't... Oh yeah, under mobility. Can I make it static without there being a problem? Let's see. Alright, so it just doesn't... Doesn't seem to be that much fun. Okay. I guess we'll have to live with that. I don't think it's a giant deal that it does that. But we're able to kind of pick it up, right? Technically, no, we're just destroying it, but it's fine. We'll have to move that. So what I would want to do is, you know, cast to hero player character. And then once that does it, we'll want to... What? Disable, or is it what? Set collision enabled. We want to set the no collision just so it doesn't do any kind of checks anymore. Like once it comes into contact with our player, we want to be like, okay, you're good. Don't worry about anything anymore. And then I guess we can also disable. Is it enable? What's the term? Deactivate? Yeah. We can deactivate rotating movement component. We don't want that doing anything anymore, right? Just to make things easier, make sure less things are doing anything. We could also do that same thing with projectile movement. Can I do both in the same thing? Yes, I can. So we should already kind of see this doing stuff. Like, yeah. See how? Like immediately it stopped. So that's a problem. So I think by default, it should have no collision. And then we can say on event begin play. We could do like a delay. I don't know, a second, you know. And then we can enable, or no, set collision. And we'll do query only. So let's just make sure that's what we want. So we want to do a custom. And we'll do world dynamic. We'll do ignore everybody but the player. Overlap. And then we should be good. So let's see now what happens. So we hit after about a second. Should be good. And we overlap and now it stops spinning. So we're good there. Now this is where we're going to use a timeline. Actor, movement, player. This is where it's going to be kind of tricky. I don't know 100% sure how to do this in C++. Like if I should just use tick or I should somehow use like a curve. Not 100% sure. So we could just do play from start. We could do a float. We're gonna do 0, 0, and then 1, 1. So it'll be a second long movement. Make it fancy, do auto curve. We'll call it movement curve. Now, is there anything special we want to do? Not looping, not replicated. We don't worry about that. So, we probably want to ignore time dilation. Okay, so now what do we want to do? We want to do what? An interp. So, yeah, F interp. No, is there like a vector interp? Let's see, lerp. There you go. So no, we don't want to do that way. We want that in the alpha. So our end location, this could be what? This player. Obviously, there's no more than one player, but this player. That's gonna be our end location. We'll get actor location. And I guess this will be what? Get actor location. And then what? Set actor location. I don't know if we need to do a sweep or not, but whatever. So I'm not entirely confident that will work the way we expect, but it might. So let's see. I guess we can we put an item on the ground without there being a problem? Where did it go? Ah. Okay. And just for the sake of pocket, you know, let's make it like double. Just 1,000 units. Just so it should be noticeable. Okay, that did work. So now we can do it. Now it should just all come to us. Yeah. Okay. And maybe we can make this like, I don't know, the default 0.2, right? So now it kind of does cool things like that. Maybe it's too quick. Yeah, so maybe like a second is fine. So let's move move what we can C++ with this. Because like we got this technically working. But I don't know what to work on next. I don't know if it should be like the inventory aspect, or if I should start working on like, I don't know, a map. I don't know. let's just worry about what's in front of us. So we have an item detection sphere, right? So it's going to be another sphere component. So let's snippet this. Oh, my eyes. Okay. So we're in an item base. So we have our overlap function actually. It doesn't do anything, so what we can do we have our character? Yeah, 0 character. Can we say what? A hero player character player equals cast a hero player character other actor Okay, so it doesn't like that. I don't want other characters to be able to take this, so maybe we don't need this, but we need... Oh, what did I do? So, is it player character? Yeah. So that should be okay now. Scarlet Visual Studio will be mad at me about it, but I don't care. Just change the music because I'm not really feeling that. I'm not really feeling it, Mr. Krabs. I feel like that cast is fine. I've done like a bunch of casts so far. They're usually that way. But I might be wrong. Well, okay, things cleaned up a little bit. So a value type can I be... So do I have to do it like this? Yeah. Okay. What else? And then we can say if player destroy, right? So we took care of that. So I don't know. So we're in what? Hero item base, and then there's base actor. Like, should it be in base actor? Probably not. Yeah. Alright, let's just... so another U property. Visible anywhere. Blueprint read only. Class, use sphere component. Let's see. Player, did I have it copied? No. Player, I think detection sphere. Is it in my snippet? No. Oh yeah, item detection sphere. Okay. Now we're gonna have to do another copy of this. On detection begin. Wow, that's not how you spell detection. Okay, we gotta implement this bad boy. Not gonna do anything there just yet. Now we're gonna say Item detection sphere equals create default subobject. We could just copy and paste this thing. Probably gonna be faster to type that out, but whatever. No. Item detection. I'm having so much trouble with spelling detection. Okay, and then we want to just set up the same attachment detection sphere. Set up attachment item mesh. Okay. Now we want to do the same thing here. Item detection sphere on component. Begin overlap. Add dynamic. This. A hero item base on detection begin. Whoa. Now I think I have to say something like this, like item detection sphere set collision enabled to what yeah, so set it to no collision by default. No collision by default for item detection. And then we have an event begin play. Perfect. So I think we need to use a timer. I think that's how we make delays in C++. Let me double check. V4 C++ delays. Yeah. So I guess I could do what? F timer handle item detection sphere handle, and then we'll get world timer manager dot set timer item detection handle this. Now can I just straight up put the function in to like not just to enable it? I don't think so. Possibly. Yeah, I think we want query only. One second. Then I think that's false. Is that actually good? No, right? Okay. So we do need to make another function. This one could definitely be private. No one needs to know about it. It'll be our dirty little secret. Enable sphere. No, enable item detection collision. Do that. It's kind of dumb that I have to make a function specifically for that. So now we can do what? Oh god. Oh god, oh man. My gotta do what? A hero item base. Just to make sure that this will get called, let's put a log. Can I just do this? I forgot how it's written. I think I had it somewhere else. Okay. Let's see if we can compile that. Doesn't hurt to try. Oh. We should also clear that timer handle. So maybe I would have to... Yeah. I want to make that a private variable that we don't have to concern anybody else with. So we should have... We have to do some cleanup now. So this one is 1,000. Yeah, no collision. World dynamic. It's only overlap with the character. Oh yeah, we don't need to do this anymore. So the rest of this should work. We don't need this. So now it should still work as it did before. What's wrong? So item detection sphere is null? That's concerning. How? Okay, so we wait until on begin play. Here's our item detection sphere. Here's us creating the default sub-object. Here's us setting up the attachment. See if we get the same kind of crash. If we, let's remove the item from the world. I am very personally offended. that shouldn't have been what happened. I'm triggered. Let's put a new one. Okay, so now we're good. Maybe it's because I had like an old reference. There we go. So it still works as we would expect. So now I don't know how to handle this. UE4, C++, timeline equivalent. Let's see what we find out. Oops.
Hello.
So that's an F curve. That's probably what I want. So this is definitely gonna be our go-to. So what does he create? Let's get to it. That's upsetting. Okay. So I would definitely want to put it probably in this top layer. I feel like it would be under miscellaneous curve. Yes, curve float. Item detection curve. Okay, so we have our curve. And then we what? Ugh, I always forget how to keyframe in this one. Okay, so it's like that. So I want it to be 0, 0. And I want this one to be 1, 1. And then I wanted one of these. There we go. Auto, boom. So that's our timeline, essentially. So let's see what he does. So he has his curve. Now he has a static mesh actor. Probably gonna make a. He's gonna probably make. All right, so there is a timeline component. Interesting. Now he's probably gonna make a variable for that curve. So I'm wondering how far I should take, because this item, I guess this item should have this kind of functional class. Like, this is an item that you can get into the world. It's not, it's just, all right, let's not overthink it. So first, let's make another private thing. So what did I name it? Yeah, this timer. We can just move this to there. We want to do this so we can reference it because we want to disable that timer at some point. So that should still all be kosher. Now he has. Let's do it up here. Give me just a moment. Fucking work stuff. Sorry. So what we need, I guess it doesn't have to be a U property. Obviously, we can just do what? U timeline component. And then move to player timeline. So it doesn't seem to like that. Okay, it's fine now. Now what does he do? So it's a U curve float. Okay. Sorry, guys. Okay. So, I guess this could be a... Maybe it's a private thing? I really don't know what the best way to fucking organize this shit is. Like, my header files are such garbage. So class, U, curve, float. And we'll say F, move to player, curve. Okay. Oh, I thought someone was controlling my mouse for a second. Alright, so he made it a... Oh, yeah, you gotta make it a property. Gots to make it a property, bruh. I'm actually feeling pretty good. We made good progress today. I didn't, change anything in the engine, so I didn't fuck myself. Edit anywhere. I think we already have a movement section. Yeah. So that seems all good. Okay, so what does he do in the... Does he do anything in the constructor? So he has to start location. Alright, so he's creating the default sub-object. What else? Okay, so we also have to include it, right? Oop. So let's do that. What did I call it? Okay. And yeah, we got it. We include it. UE4 timeline component. There we go. It's a pretty heavy class. I don't know if we need all this stuff, but we might. Get cozy. So let's include that bad boy. So we're good there. We don't have to attach to anything. I guess I could do it actually, just so it's more organized. Move this. To down here. Okay. So now that he has these properties for start location and end location, but we also have it's going to be our current location as the actor, and our final location is the overlapped player. So we don't need to store anything like that in our header. He has a Z offset. I don't care about that. I don't know what that's intended for. So he has a function that says timeline float return. So we'll definitely need that. So U function, void timeline float return float value. So what is this one intended to do? Oh, he's making another one. So he has an on timeline finished. I guess that would be safe to have void on timeline finished. I don't think it's gonna return anything right now. Okay, so now he is making this. Sorry, I'm just watching the tutorial on the side. If you want to follow along, there you go. Oh, I got more stuff from work. Emails. Oh no. Let me check email real quick. Oh wow. Okay, email is officially checked. Okay. So what is he doing in this function? What is he returning? Oh, he's also doing the other function. Okay, he's making something I've never seen before, so that's fun. So f on timeline float. So insert function, this is what he's calling it. He does something like that. I should really listen to this with audio because I don't understand what he's saying. Declare our delegate function to be binded with timeline float. Okay. And then we have f on timeline event. Timeline finished. Curious if this is going to work. I mean, this is almost a 4-year-old tutorial. Maybe shit's outdated. Okay. He's doing some weird things. Let's see. Oops. All right, so now he's doing interp function dot bind u function. This f name this. Seems okay. The timeline finished dot bind u function. This f name. Then this other one. Okay. Okay, so now let's just see if this. Oops, that was on the wrong thing. Let's see if this compiles. So I'm concerned it's not going to. Yeah, no. Does anyone see anything in this tutorial? I don't know. um, do I need to include anything? Do I have to include it like how he included it? So he included it like right underneath this body. Let's just see if that makes a difference. I don't think it's going to, but you know, maybe we should have more faith in ourselves. Believe. No. Okay. I'm so pissed about this keyboard. It's a nice fucking keyboard. Can't have anything nice. Let's look this up. UE4 F. So here's the on timeline event. Did I miss something? Because it's one parameter. Tricky. Is there another tutorial on how to UE4? C++, how to use timeline component. Okay, so we got one from dev enabled, so I'm happy about that. He knows a little, he's good. timeline progress. Where does he say timeline progress? Do I need to do something like that? Let me just see. Yeah, no. Nice try, Obama. Okay. Let's get rid of those. Get rid of those. So we have those two functions, right? So we basically want to start this on this event, right? So we can do pretty much the same thing that we did on this one. But now here, we would say what? If curve, what do we call it? F move player curve. And then he says F on timeline float. And I have that class in here, right? Yeah, so we're good there. So we go at timeline progress. Timeline progress is what he names it. Then timeline progress dot find do function. And then the same thing as before this, F name. And then this. Okay. He has something called curved timeline. That's his timeline. My timeline is there. No, but he has an F timeline. The fuck is an F? So F timeline, movement timeline. And then he says, movement, what did I call it? Yeah, movement timeline. Dot add enter float. Then I have F curve float. And then timeline progress. Oh no. Go back. Alright, I don't want it to be looping. And then I want to say curved timeline. So I want to say movement timeline dot play from start. And we want to have tick. So we have to bring tick back into this. So I think I gotta do what? Virtual void. Tick. Delta time. Override. You gotta do float like that. There we go. Okay, we got super. Then he says, movement timeline. Is that what I called it? Movement timeline. Dot tick timeline delta. Okay. Now we gotta go into timeline progress. And we want to do f vector location equals fmat lerp. I guess I have to make a new private variable. So can I just say, whoops, class A hero, player character, oops, player character. You do something like that. Is this necessary? Do I have to say like if player character? And then what we gotta do? Get actor location, player character, get location, and then value. Is that okay? Looks to be okay. We haven't compiled in a while, so we'll have to just roll with the punches. And then yeah, we gotta set actor location, location. Okay. So that might be it. Not sure what I'm doing. Maybe we don't need the unfinished one. Let's just see if it compiles. Let's not make the bold assumption that this is gonna work. Nope. damn it. So what does he make? Makes a curve. So he makes an F timeline. And then a U curve. So here's our curve. Do I have to include anything? Don't know. So he has, I don't need this function, I don't think. So I'll just fucking nuke it. He has two properties for start location and location. Is the offset we don't need to worry about. Don't know. We need all that, but we're gonna do it. Try it one more time. See what the damage is. Okay, it compiled. Interesting. Okay. Now we have our item. Let's disable this logic real quick. What else do I need to do? Yeah, there's a property in here somewhere. Yeah. So let's see if this works or if we're gonna get a crash. Okay. So it doesn't do it. At least it doesn't crash. You know, I'm happy about that. So I'm wondering if the detection works. Or maybe it doesn't tick. Alright, so it does tick. Okay. So let's see. Let's see if it hit that. Okay. So all of that happens. Let's see. UE log. Oh my goodness. Oh my god. Oh my god. Not gonna do anything. Like, I don't know what that's really gonna print. Because I'm trying to print a vector. And I'm telling it to use a float. Yeah. Oh, wait, it worked. Okay. Thought it didn't work for a second. So let's look at our log. All right. So it only prints once. Um, did I miss something? So add enter float. Do I have to do set looping? Movement timeline dot set looping. True. I wouldn't think it needs to, but maybe it does. I don't know. I'm kind of in the dark with this one. So it still only does one. So it's going more and more. Does it really have to be on begin play? If F curve. Can I just do something like that? Like, I only want it to really start when I overlap. I don't want it to be doing anything on begin play. I'm sure I missed some important fucking step. Yeah, still doesn't really make a difference. I'm gonna move that back. And we have play from start. Then he adds that thing to tick. We're ticking the timeline. Passing in delta time. Let's do a UE log because I'm dumb. Just make sure tick is going. We're gonna get a lot of fucking prints, but like, whatever. This item base. Do I need this timeline? I don't know. Alright, so it's not even ticking. Which is interesting. Do I have to explicitly say that tick needs to be enabled? Maybe I'm doing that in the base class. Maybe I did something dumb. Let's see, enable. Wait for C++, enable tick. I know there's a line that's set up by default. Yeah, primary actor tick. So maybe I just have to set actor tick enabled to true. True. Then primary actor tick dot be ever tick was true. Let's see if this will let our guy hit tick. TikTok. So our base actor is saying it can tick, which is interesting. Let's just see. All right, there we go. There's our tick. But maybe you want to just do that when we overlap. Or better yet, do this. I think, yeah, we still have our U log in there, so whoops, but we know it's ticking. That gives me more faith that it should work. No. Okay. Maybe it just has to be ticking by default. Again, the constructor. Let's try that one more time. Okay. So we're ticking. Alright. So it does need to be enabled by default. Kind of sucks. But I guess maybe we can have a lifespan on these guys of like a few seconds so that they don't stay in the world too long. But we got this working. That. Okay. Do I even need, like, where is this used? This timeline component. Yeah, right? It's right here. Only there. What happens if I remove it? Let's see if it still works. Yeah, Lon Lon Ranch. That's the name of this place. And the music. Alright. Still good. Alright, so we don't even need that fucking component, so. Hooray. One last thing to worry about. Alright, I don't care about this health potion right now. Okay, we're good there. Now, we just gotta do what we were doing before. Where we were like deactivating some of our components and shit. So let's give that a go. Let's triple check, make sure this is working. Wow. Good. So what were we doing earlier? So we were just these two things. Snip it. Don't need to really copy it. Okay, so it's gonna be on my other monitor. So when we get to this point, I'm gonna say, yeah, when there is a curve, we want what? Item detection sphere, not handle. Item detection sphere. Set collision enabled. E collision, no collision. Then we want to get our projectile movement component. Do we want to deactivate? Rotating movement. Deactivate. Now we want to. I'll probably do a safety thing here. Else we'll do UE log. Log temp warning. text. It's going to say no curve assigned. Oops. Okay. Now we should notice now when we overlap, it'll stop spinning. Yes. Alright, so everything gets properly disabled. So now we're done with that. I'm actually quite pleased with how much we got done today. Delete that. Okay. So now that we have that, let's see if it works against our tree. Yeah. Yes. That looks pretty good. I mean, I'm not complaining. We're kind of getting somewhere. So, with that in mind, let's submit everything to our repository because we're at a pretty decent state where I'd like to be. Alright, so there's a bunch of that. I'm sure we missed something. Yeah, here we go. Check out. Check out. Definitely something in our notify, so I believe that was under abilities. Yeah. So nothing under attack, nothing under block. Featherfall's garbage, we'll want to remove that one day. Nothing under ability task. Yeah, we want base actor. We're good there. Let's also look into our list. So we fixed that. We did that. We want to make hierarchical diagram of item hierarchy. I guess start inventory system. Foliage health. Like maybe we want to destroy the tree after a certain number of hits. Let's see. So player character. Player state. I don't think we have any changes to the UI. We haven't touched UI in a long time. Interfaces, probably, yeah. Nothing in all this stuff. Doubt there's anything in data. Maybe it'll be something in components. I don't know. Nah. Alright, I think we're good. No. I think everything in our content's okay, right? Test item. Is there anything we can mark for add? Okay. Now under hero specifically, is there anything we can mark for add? Okay. Yeah, that's fine. thinking that's all we have. Oh yeah, it's starting to do shit. Yeah, I don't know if this was a smart idea. Yeah, we also have to fix some other stuff. Like, our movement's very limited. Oops. Can I expand all? Alright, let's just submit what we have, right? Not a big deal. Create item-based class functionality in C++. Player detection and item destruction. See how long that takes. Don't think it's very happy with that. Cannot find these ones. Okay. Will it always give me that error, or does it automatically? Yeah, this is Perforce. I just want to see that error again. I gotta see which ones it can't find, because we don't. It doesn't exist anymore. So testability. So hero abilities, testability. Okay. Okay, that's one. I'm using Git for my Unreal project. Should I consider using Perforce? It's really up to you, honestly. Like, depending on your work size, like your group size, your team size, what have you, Perforce might not be necessary. I just wanted to learn how to use it, so and I use it for work, so I just wanted to kind of learn how to set it up a project and stuff like that. So it's your preference, really. And there's a good tutorial. Give me a second, and I will link it on how to do it. Yeah. Here you go. That's what I use to follow this. So wait, gameplay effects. So hero gameplay effects default. That's what we don't have anymore. Hero. I don't see it anymore. Where does it go? Ah. Okay, let's try again. Yeah, no problem, Quasi. Like, it shows you how to do everything, and it's pretty straightforward. Alright, so we got everything committed there. I also have us on GitHub. So GitHub. Yeah, I think, it's only project files that we're updating right now, or I should say code files. Item-based class functionality. I'm gonna have to learn how to push the rest of the content folder on there. I don't know if I'll have enough space, but that'll be another day. Okay. So we're good there. So next time, we'll be streaming again on Thursday. We got a lot done tonight. What we're going to start, we'll probably have to make a hierarchical diagram for our item hierarchy, just so I can not lose track of what I'm doing in that regards. Then we can probably start with our inventory system, because now we're able to spawn items. So we want to be able to track our items in some sort of inventory system. Probably something really simple. And maybe we'll look into foliage health. So like maybe it takes a couple hits before an item is spawned, and maybe you can only hit it a few times before the tree disappears or gets destroyed. Probably right now I'll work on it just being, disappearing and stuff. Like it would be nice to have some physics stuff like Valheim, where like the tree will get knocked down and fall over and etc. But for now we gotta keep things simple. So that's probably what we're gonna work on next time. Forgot how. Yeah, I think it's this, right? Yeah. Okay. So follow me on Twitter at devleveldesign. Also follow me on Facebook. Obviously, if you're watching and you're not following me on Twitch, follow me on Twitch, and support me on Patreon. And follow me on YouTube. So thanks to everybody for watching. We're gonna raid. I forgot how to do it. Raid. We're gonna raid Sweet Fawn 1994. She's playing some games. We could check her out, show some support. So tomorrow night we'll be playing with Mediocre Mages. We'll probably play some Valheim, and then on Thursday we'll do some more of this game dev stuff with our Project Hero. So thanks for watching, everybody. See you tomorrow.